All right, Babajide Ogunsanwo, our data and information analyst, joins us this day so that we can sink our teeth into the figures that you may have been seeing. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
Well, you've digged in, you've seen some of this. Tell us what you think.
Whatever it is, we must first accept that there's a tension in the Nigerian system. A tension. Half a century ago, Martin Luther King Jr. referred to this tension as a tension between good and evil. Hinduism refers to this as a tension between illusion and reality. Platonic philosophy refers to this as a tension between body and soul. Zoroastrianism, a religion of the old, refers to this as a struggle between the God of light and the God of darkness. Traditional Judaism and Christianity refers to this tension as a tension between God and Satan. And so there is a tension in the Nigerian system. We've seen a tension between the PDP and the PDP. There's a struggle between the APC and the APC. This week we've seen that struggle continue between Malam Nasir El-Rufai and Speaker Yakubu Dogara. A tension, it's a struggle. And so Malam Nasir El-Rufai says his basic monthly salary is only 185,000 naira. Speaker Yakubu Dogara says his basic monthly salary is only 206,000 naira. Are they right? Yes, they are. But is that the full picture? No, it isn't. And I'll share that full picture with you. And I think the prognosis will surprise you. But before I share that full picture with you, this week I've read hundreds and hundreds of texts and emails. Hundreds and hundreds of texts and emails. And there's one thing that comes out on top. And that is, should these two leaders even be collecting salaries at all? Because when you look at their pay slips, there's one thing that is consistent. We might argue about how low the amount is, but one thing that is consistent, what is that one thing? It is that their salaries are being paid on time. That is the consistent thing. Their salaries are being paid on time. Now just consider these three things. The first is the Federal Ministry of Finance says in northern Nigeria there are 2.2 million children who are suffering from malnutrition. The region where these two leaders are from. Now what is 2.2 million? That's the population of Gabon. More than the population of Gambia, more than the population of Guinea-Bissau. So northern Nigeria is a country filled with malnourished children. Yet,
and
these two leaders are collecting salary. And this is the second thing. Now, Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative have brought this up. They have what they call the multidimensional poverty index. They say in Kaduna State, 56.5% of the people are poor. The narrative is almost 6 out of 10 people living in Kaduna are poor. They say in Bauchi, 86.6%, almost 9 out of 10 people living in Bauchi are poor. That's almost 9 again out of 10 are poor. Yet these two leaders collect their salaries on time.
What's that measurement for poor?
Now, the poverty index, there are two ways we could look at it. We could look at it based on the UN standard of $1.90, or we could look at it the way they've looked at it, and to look at it from multi-dimensional perspectives: income, health, education, and this is their conclusion. So should our leaders even be collecting salaries at all? And in the final analysis, let's look at what UNICEF says about education within these two states that the leaders come from. UNICEF says, for instance, in Kaduna State, there are 266,000 children, Chamberlain, who should be in primary school. Children between the age of 6 and 11 who should be in primary school. 266,000. But they are out of school. What is 266,000? There's a stadium in Kaduna, Ahmadu Bello Stadium, has a capacity of 16,000. That's where Nigeria and Egypt played that match last year, where we drew 1-1. March 2016. That stadium is 16,000 capacity. So picture 16 stadia filled with potential leaders. But I don't know if they will become leaders because they are out of school. UNICEF also talks about number of out-of-school children that should be in primary school in Bauchi. They put that figure at 531,000. Humongous numbers. Children that should be in school in Bauchi State, where the speaker comes from. But they are not in school. Now let's understand what that figure means. And also in Bauchi State, there's a stadium, the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium. A stadium of 15,000 capacity. So picture that stadium, 35 of it filled with children, potential leaders who should be in school. But I don't know if they will be leaders because they're out of school. Now those are mini El Rufais and Dogaras who should be in school. And so what does all of this mean? It means our leaders need to stop talking. Muhammad Ali could talk. Muhammad Ali could even sing. But singing did not make him the heavyweight champion of the world. Swinging made him the heavyweight champion of the world. So our leaders need to stop talking and they need to swing into action. They really need to swing into action. But there are two things that these leaders didn't release and their pay slips didn't show. What are these two things? ESTA codes and gratuities.
You're expecting to see that?
Now that is off record. Now the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission talks about the ESTA code of the governor, but it leaves it to the discretion of each state. But they make public. Yes, they leave it to the discretion of each state. And so we do not know what each state gives to its governor.
So they can hike it to
whatever it is. That is top secret, confidential information. You and I will never be able to find that.
So that's where the money drains out.
A lot of money goes into ESTA code. But the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission also tells us about the ESTA code of some other leaders. They say the ESTA code of the Speaker of the House of Reps. And this is from Ramfak. They say his ESTA code is his ESTA code is $1,200.
Okay, we'll just take a moment on that and come back and look at the rest of the ESTA code and what else we've got for you. Don't go away. Well, today we've got less than 5 minutes. Go ahead, swing.
All right, let's swing into action. So here's what Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission say. They say the ESTA code of the Speaker of the House of Representatives, in their own words, $1,200 per night. Now, if we go by the official exchange rate, that is 366,000 naira. Here's what it means. What the Speaker of the House of Representatives will get as his ESTA code per night is much more than his salary per month.
His basic salary.
His basic salary per month. They also say the ESTA code per day for a senator, $950. For a floor member at the House of Reps, $900. But this doesn't stop at Kaduna versus Bauchi. This goes even beyond the executive versus the legislators. What it is there's so much money that goes out as well to gratuities. So we can't have this equitable discussion by not talking about what goes on as gratuities, even at the executive level. Ramfak says the gratuity, what we'll call in simple terms, thanks for coming, of the president. Thanks for coming for the president after 4 years. 10.5 million naira. For the vice president, 9 million naira. For the governor, 6.6 million naira. And on and on. They say the thanks for coming for the National Assembly after 4 years as gratuity. The Senate President, 7.4 million naira. The Speaker, 7.4 million naira. Floor members, 6 million naira as their reward after leaving office. And in the final analysis, if we look at what all these gratuities from the executive and the National Assembly comes to, it's an excess of 3.5 billion naira. As thanks for coming after leaving office. What is 3.5 billion naira? 3.5 billion naira, going by the 2016 budget, will build and renovate 12 girls' hostels. Plus, it will build another 12 primary healthcare centers. Plus, it will build 100 classrooms for young boys and girls. That's what 3.5 billion naira can do.
Especially in the Northeast.
Especially in the Northeast. And Chamberlain, in the final analysis, this is a call that the National Assembly could take the lead. Nigerians want them to do something special. Now, Nigerians aren't interested about those that want to give up their gratuities. Nigerians are interested about those that do not want to give up their gratuities. And so the House should take a vote. And they should take a vote and ask, who among us doesn't want to give up his or her gratuity? And I think they should take that challenge. And if they do take that challenge, here's what they will hear. Who among us does not want to take up or wants to continue collecting gratuities? I think the House will be silent. And then the executive should follow, because there's so much money they can save from taking that decision. And they also know what positive it will create for them in 2019 by being the first assembly to have come out openly to declare that their members wouldn't take their gratuity. And then the executive also needs to play a role.
Very interesting scenarios there. Did you see those thanks for coming? What they get?
Well, mind-boggling.
Guess what Jide is going to get?
$950.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
That's what he gets for today.
That's all I get.
That's thanks for coming.
You're getting that on the platter of gold because it's the Friday and it's the Friday.
For now, that's what he gets. Well, gentlemen, that's the show today. We thank you all for watching, and they're reminding us now, some of them are coming with a new phraseology. If you elrify me, I do gara you. Well, that's the show today. Thank you for watching. I'm Chamberlain Osal.
Have a splendid holiday. I'm Gimba Omar.